I find that a lot of students don't really know much in particular about Native America. Welcome everybody to the National Museum for the American Indian. My name is Gregg Analla. During the times of the boarding schools, basically the premise behind those was to really wipe out our culture and stop us from speaking our languages. If you look at a typical history book in a school, you're not going to find too much information that talks about Native America and the tribes that are found here. So I think it's an important issue that I get out and actually try to teach as much as I can about the culture. I represent the Pueblo tribes that actually reside in the state of New Mexico, and I'm actually from Albuquerque, which is kind of a centralized location for all of the Pueblos that are there. In our culture, they tell us that we emerge from the other worlds underneath the surface of the earth. We say, Inda. Inda. Well, I'm very honored today to be able to share a lot of information about my culture and how we actually are as Pueblo people. Tiwa, Tiwa, Tewa, Tewa, Towa, Towa, Keres, Keres, Zuni, Zuni. A lot of people don't really know too much about the Pueblo culture, so it's an honor and a blessing for me to be able to share that. I really enjoy doing artwork. I paint, I sculpt. I'm very involved in music. I do traditional music, but also I'm involved in heavy metal bands, and I do a lot of work as a vocalist for more heavy types of music. It's pretty much general hard rock, heavy metal. Of course, in my writing, I do use some of the words and symbolism in my writing, and I kind of sneak it in, of my Native American perspective. This project that I just started working on, which is called, the name of the band is called Shadow Train, and there's actually a documentary that's coming out that corresponds with it called Shadow Nation. Basically, the movie really focuses on, I guess for lack of a better term, the plight of the Native American in terms of dealing with the American government and broken treaties. The project has been going on for about 3 years now. I've been involved for almost 2, and definitely in that respect, all of the music and the lyrics definitely have to do with Native American and issues and how we've dealt with the broken treaties that have been subjugated to us during the past. And so we're trying to deal with that in that way. I've always tried to educate people through my artwork, through symbolism with my artwork, without disrespecting. You always have to be culturally sensitive, especially when you're talking a lot about Pueblo culture, because things can be secret and sacred at the same time. I guess the thing that really burns in my mind and my heart is the fact that when you go to school and you learn about American history, there really is not much history written about the Native peoples that were here, from the very beginning. And so I have been fortunate enough to, grow up in a family that was proud of our culture and learn from my elders, what can be culturally sensitive and what cannot, and what kind of information I can get out. So I do find it's really important that we do educate people on, the fact that we're still around. There's a lot of Native people that are still around, and we're right next door to you. We're your neighbors. Even in the Southwest itself, Albuquerque, what I found was that students that live right next door to the Pueblos, they would come in and they didn't even know that what a Pueblo was or who Pueblo people were. I think that is my purpose in this world now, to be able to share these beautiful things that make up us as people, and also to emphasize that even though we come from different cultures, different backgrounds, different races around the world, that we really are all one.